One postcard always surprises me with the prices, large letter postcards. The video today, as you see down in the bottom right, there's a little agenda there. I got some cards I sold on eBay and Etsy. I'll sprinkle those throughout the video. Then I have a special topic on large letter postcards, like the one here. Everybody sees them, they stick out in the listings. I'll dig into those a little bit. And then I have one of the polls. This is probably one poll that I had to look at for a few minutes because I was kind of surprised on one of the categories people didn't select. I thought more people would be in that part of the poll. But you know what? I added to this section here of the video, and it's going to get real. I got some numbers, baseline, to show you how I think about sell-through rate on postcards and what it takes to make money doing them. And then I got about 4 viewer comments to go through. But let's go ahead and get started on the cards that sold on Etsy. And remember, Etsy is only 15% of my sales. HIP is 0. eBay is about 80%. Etsy, you just got to watch the fees. If the cards don't sell, they hit you every month. I really want to put more up there, but every time I do, I start thinking it's just going to add up, and I'm just wasting time. But then I'll get a big order, and so I'm on the fence a little bit about it still. But I had a person buy 2 cards on Etsy on this order. First one was Market Street West from 111th Street, Philadelphia. And I used to travel to Philadelphia every other week for work, and I know where that is. But that's a white border card, and that sold for $4.55. And then this one's the Metropolitan Opera House, Philadelphia, PA, white border card. So they bought 2 Philadelphia cards in there for $10. And then the next order, I don't put a lot of the Navy ships on Etsy. When I was doing them on eBay, I would take, and say I had 150 of the cards, I would put 149 on eBay and then put one in the Etsy stack to do later. And that's what I'm catching up on now, is putting them on Etsy. But I don't want to load Etsy up with just boats because it's a different clientele there. They like a good mixture. I get a lot of favorites on Etsy. When they favorite a listing, I get a little message. But also what's really cool on Etsy, if they favorite a listing and they don't do anything, there's a thing you can set up. It automatically sends them a 10% off or whatever you set up. Also, if they put it in their cart and don't do anything, it'll automatically send them an offer. I thought that was pretty cool. Do I get a lot of sales off of that? What I see, no. But it's just an added thing I don't have to do. But on this person bought USS Merrimack, aka 97, an older ship on there. And that's just a regular Chrome card on regular card stock. So, sold for $5. So I made $15 on Etsy. And I'll knock out a few of these eBay ones. This was another Navy ship, USS Hasley Powell, DD 686. It's one of those prints the club did on there. Go in a continental sleeve, 53 cents on eBay, standard envelope, sold for $4.55. Naples Causeway along beautiful Saboga Lake, Naples, Maine. Not Naples, Florida, Naples, Maine. That's a causeway with a nice wooden boat there. Sold for $4.55, just a standard regular Chrome card on there, and someone wanted it. Then I had another multiple order, and this is where I make more money, is when people buy more than one card. I have volume discounts set up. But also, I can put both of these cards in one envelope for 53 cents. Instead of paying $1.06, I'm only paying that, and it's already added into the cost of the card when I price them and list them. So I save 50 cents when they buy more cards. If they buy 4 cards, that's where I make more money. Even though I give them a volume discount, it doesn't take all of the shipping off. And I don't refund shipping that often unless it's a really large order or something. But this gentleman bought USS New Jersey, BB62. It's one of those prints, Continentals. And this was one of my favorites when I listed them. This is the same ship, New Jersey, but it's shooting all the guns. Not just a black and white one. That one really sticks out in the listings because the red is like lava. Postcards, I love putting those up because they stick out. But both of those, $4.55 each. Next one was the quad angle at Fort Sam, Houston, Texas. Look at that old car right there. And I think this gentleman's got some different clothes on. But it's a posted card. 1962, the quad angle, Sam Houston, Texas, $4.55. And then I'll do one more card here off of eBay, and this is another naval ship, USS Upshur, AP-198, just an older ship. It's a big ship. Look how big that thing is. That's the anchor right there. But these are black and white. I have the prints, the negatives for all these that they printed off, and also the drives that they had and everything in the database for it. $4.55. It'll go in the Continental sleeve, eBay standard envelope, 53 cents. Large letter postcards. One postcard that surprises me the most is large letter postcards. And that's what we're going to get into here, is those linen cards or crumb cards with the large letters. And you can see them on the listings pretty clear. And a lot of people do collect those, and they are pretty collectible. But as I go through this, let me go ahead and read some of the highlights. I don't usually get all the way in depth. Leave you some research to do as well. But here's some of the cards that I picked out. I really like the purple one. The large letter postcard covers many time periods. Early cards usually are names, while linen period are usually locations. And I do have a 1909 large letter card that I'm going to show you here in a minute. But for example, greetings from Chicago, greetings from Boston, greetings from Philadelphia postcards. Large letter postcards is a postcard with the name in large letters becomes its subject. The name is usually that of a state or city and a popular tourist spot. Ocean City, New Jersey. Some had graphic work that was simple or sometimes complex. They were most popular when produced as linens between 1938 and 1942. And a little bit more on that in a minute. But they are based on earlier multi-image vignette view cards with complicated borders that date back to the 1890s. And we're going to talk mostly about the linens. There is some examples I'll show you of the chromes and the earlier ones. They largely died out with the popularity of linen cards. So when linens kind of died out, when chromes came on, they kind of faded out with the linens, as the linens faded out. Variations continue to be made though out there because they are popular and they do look good. A lot of the cards that you see, the linen ones, they normally have a serial number on like the corner or something like that you can trace back to. And I'll show you how to do that in just a minute. I like them because when I'm looking for postcards and stuff, they kind of stick out on eBay or Etsy. They really pop in the listings. And if you can zoom in a little bit on a photo, or get the scan really with the vibrant colors, they really pop out. Let me show you an example here of a 1909 large letter postcard. And this is Souvenir from Fort Monroe, Virginia. Just a regular cardstock. It's an undivided back, 1909, but that was a large letter going across there like souvenir. It kind of, I pulled this one because it kind of looked like the large letter. Now the serial number on cards, right in the back here, this is Cleveland, Ohio, we're going to talk about it in a minute, but right there is that serial number, right in the corner. And you can there's usually checklist or something like that you can find with the serial numbers. So large letter chrome cards, this is greetings from Miami, Florida, but I'm going to show it, see how it glistens? It's not a linen card, it's actually a chrome card on there. Same type, greetings from Winchester, Virginia. See it glistened? All the gloss on there. That's just a regular chrome card, but large letter. I like the linen ones better than that. And then this is the last chrome card I'll show you. Greetings from Louisiana, the Pelican State. It's got a pelican. But that's another glossy chrome card of the large letters on there. And they're just regular postcard stock. Newer card, 50, 60 cent chromes. So those were the chrome versions. Now why do they surprise me? How do I count these? I do it in a couple different ways. I still do the sold high, list, low. But also, there's a book that was made called Large Letter Postcards, The Definitive Guide, 1930s and 1950s. Now the only problem with that, and with a lot of the guides and books, they go out of date. This was published in 2009. You're talking, the prices need to be inflated to what you see. But this is the book. I use this all the time. It has in here pictures of the actual postcards. I think you can see that without me getting down there. They actually have the picture of the postcards. Now the only problem with this, let me see if I can get a better look at that. On there, looking at these cards in there is kind of like finding Waldo. Your eyes tend to go all over the place, and a lot of things grabbing your eyes. So it does take a little bit of time to find it, and that's where the serial number comes in. If you can find the serial and on there and it's in this book, it'll be there. Not all cards are in this book, as you'll see. Now, I did do a research on a couple of the cards I have here. Now, the first one that I showed you is Salute from Fort Hood, right there. And it's an unposted card, and I did find that in the book. Let me show you. This is not the best. Right there. Fort Hood. Yeah, right there is the Fort Hood. And it tells you the price right on the bottom of 2009 price. $8.16 is what the price is that they say is $8 to $16 for this card in 2009 prices. So what would you post this card for now? 20, 25, 30? That's where you have to go out and do the other checks, but this is saying this is a special card. This isn't my average card, so I'll set it to the side and put it in my special folder and say I need to research this before I list it to make sure I get every dollar I can. The next one, let me see if I can do this one. New London, Connecticut. Right there, just a linen card, and it says, it's hard to read with the graphics. New London, Connecticut, unposted. And that one is running, let me see where I put it. Aha! That's going for $4 to $8 in the book. So this one was in the book as well. $4 to $8, that's an average card to me. But that was 2009 prices. So is this a $9 to $12 card? 12 to 15? I'll have to find out. The last one is Greetings from Cleveland, Ohio. This one took me a little while to find because Ohio, there's a lot of them in there and stuff. And let's see what this one's going for. Oh wow, this is way in the back. Still going. Greetings from Ohio. $2 to $4. It's this one right here. That one right in the bottom here. $2 to $4. Is in 2009 prices, so is that an $8 to $12 card? But that's what this book can do for you. And it also has a history about the book. In this book, I have a link in the video description on the bottom of my for an eBay link, affiliate link on there. But they usually run $25 to $40. You can find them on Amazon or eBay out there, but do a search on it. You might find one cheaper somewhere. But that's the book right there. And that's what it says on the side. But large letter postcards. It was good reading. I use it a lot. I have it sitting right next to me all the time, and I usually just put my postcards on top of it on the special folder, and then when I get time I'll go over and look at those. But these large letter postcards, I always look for them when I see them and they're cheap. You can probably make a living going out on eBay and just sourcing these things. But what about the prices? We always want to know the prices. Sold high. Right here, you know, sold high, sold low, list high, list low. Gives you a good idea what these are. As I went through these, I also tried to find them in the book. So I'll show them here to you, and what they sold for or listed for, and then I'll tell you what the book said, if it was in the book. Some of them weren't. So the first one here, this was a $59, $60 post, Florida. Greetings from Florida. A linen postcard. Florida. Look at that. It's the plain card, pink plain card. $60. Now, is that a fluke? I don't know. I went and looked at it. I found this one in the book. The book says $20 to $40. So that was in 2009 prices. This guy sold for $60. I think that was a very well researched and sale, because that's probably where I would have put it. But just look at that, $60 for a large letter postcard that most people would pass up or whatever. The next one that sold, $40 with $2 shipping. So $42 for Jackson Beach, Florida. What do you think the book says? I found it. $40 to $80. He went on that's on the low end of 2009 prices. They probably could have got a little bit more for this. But do they have all the tools I have? Or are they digging in there, but it's still a good sale. And they probably paid nothing for that card on there. It just looks like a normal card, but $40 to $80. That paid for the book right there. The next one, York, Nebraska. I looked high and low. This one's not in the book, so I can't tell you if it's good or bad from 2009. So I'd have to go back to my old thing and look on the eBay, look on the Google, look on Terapeak and stuff like that, and just see what they sold for. But $22 plus $4 shipping, so $25 for York, Nebraska. You pay $30 for this, $40 for this. Sell one postcard. The rest is profit. But then we go over to the sold lows. You gotta be careful with these, but they do surprise me. This one, $2.70 plus $1.50 shipping, so $5 card, $5 for Pasadena, California, large letter postcard. What do you think the book says? 2009 prices, 5 to 10. So that's probably a 12 to 15, 14, $18 card, and they sold it for $2, $3, $5. Do your research, you'll get the extra money. Next one was Kentucky. Big, large letter, a lot of complex stuff in there. And look at that. I mean, these are, if you look at this there, it's like finding Waldo. What does that say? You really got to kind of look at it and say Kentucky, because shapes and stuff are not real sharp on there. $2.70, same seller, I think. The book said this one is worth $2 to $4 in 2009 prices, so that's probably a 6 to 8 card, 8 to 10. So they lost a little bit there. So between those two, they probably lost 20 bucks. You know, $15 to $20. Bottom one is a chrome card, and the book doesn't have a lot of the chrome cards. They have the linen cards in there because that was the time period of linen, and that's where that book focuses on, is a certain time period from the 1930s to the 1950s is where it goes. So you won't find the older chromes in there. And this sold for $4.20, so it would be basically like this card here, the chrome. So those are worth, you know, $5. To me, $4.55 plus free shipping is what I would put that card up there. But just think, $40 for a large letter postcard, or $60, just amazing. That's why I love doing postcards. It's just amazing what you think and what's really there. Now let's look at what these people are listing these things for. And as you know, I try to be nice here. The first one is Idaho. It's Moscow. If you look at the top there, it looks like they probably had a generic card in every town they went through, and they would just print the next town on there. So Moscow. I did not find the Moscow one in just like this, but I did find the Idaho with the blue rainbow. They listed it for $57.50 or best offer. The book says it's worth $2 to $4 in 2009 price. That's going to be a tough sell. The next one, they got it for $49, so $50 plus $4.50 shipping, so $55 card. Maryland, and Princess Anne. The book says $10 to $20, 2009 prices, so probably $25 to $30. Still a little high, but they have best offer. Someone might make an offer. Those are the types that best offer fits, because you're kind of probably experimenting with the thing. But these two that I just showed you I think are a little high. That might be what they're testing the market for. Bring it up. You don't have to do exactly what everybody else is doing. But the book says 10 to 20, so it's 25 to 30, so he might be about $10 higher. But the top one, $57.50, I think is a little too high if it's a $2 to $4 card. Do your research, drop that down. Then the next one is a Puerto Rico one, Ponce. The book didn't have international that I found in there, and so I don't really know what it is, but to my experience, anything Puerto Rico sells. But will it sell for $49.99? Not for sure. You can try, but I really don't have anything without going out to Terapeak, eBay, on the web, Card Cow, and stuff like that to see what's out there and sold. And I didn't do that. $49.99, I think it's a little high, but then Puerto Rico, they surprise you. Listed low. This is where people lose money on these cards. They really do. And I confirmed that here. Hartford, Connecticut. Nice card. The one I got here is darker than the one I saw in the book. They want $1.50 with free shipping. By the time you pay shipping, it's 53 cents. You pay for the envelope, your time, your fees, you're going to end up with hardly nothing. The book says $4 to $8, 2009 prices. So it's probably a $10 to $15 card. Money left on the table. Next one, Greetings from Mississippi. And how does that look like that's Mississippi? Look at the name. I mean, you got to really stare at it, find Waldo, to say Mississippi. When I looked at that, I'm sitting there, what is that saying? If it didn't have the title, I think I'd still be looking at it. 99 cents and 58 cents shipping. So I sell them for $1. And the next one is the same thing. A lot of people do that. They'll put a lot of postcards, just dump them out there for $1 and shipping. And Monday morning they might ship out 500 cards. But this one says, the book says $2 to $4. 2009 prices. So it's an $8 to $12 card. Same with the bottom one. Large letter, Cleveland, Ohio. It's a $2 to $4 card. In the book, 2009 prices. What do you think? These are something to look for? My opinion, I always pick these up. I don't care if they're, as long as they're for a good price. I'm on there, 'cause I'm not going to sit there and scan every one of them and go through the book, bring the book with me to the store or anything. But when I'm looking and sourcing, there's some, I looked at a book, I got some in my mind that I know I need to dig into. But these are definitely fun to research, fun to look for, because you get the surprises. A lot of times you get the low ones, the average ones. That's the majority of postcards out there. But if you want to find a gem, you're probably a better chance than to find a diamond in the rough with large letter than most of the cards out there. They're just surprising. And they kind of hold their colors, these linens and stuff. If you have any experience with large letter postcards you want to share, make sure you put it in the video here, and we can all see and share your experiences on them. But that's large letter postcards. Who knew? Now let me finish up these rest of these eBay what sold postcards. This one here was 2 West Point postcards sold to one person. This is Thayer Hall. Usually West Point doesn't do that well for me, but I sold 2 of these on there for $10. And this is the Cadet Chapel right there. And this is unposted. They're earlier Chrome cards on there. So those 2 sold. And it was boat day again. I sold another. This one I just listed the other day. I actually have finished all the red boxes, all the ship cards. I do have 1 tray of miscellaneous that are just spread out. That's all I got left of the ships, and about 500 of these left to do. And then I'll be done listing that whole naval ship haul that I got. And if you want to see the videos, it's in a playlist up there of when I got it and how I plan to go through it. And I'm finished. So it's been about 8 or 9 months to get all those in. And I think I got 80,000-90,000 quantity now of cards doing that. But I've been making money on them since first 3 months. Not a lot of money, because I still keep them lower, but it's paid for itself, and it's a nice cash flow of the boats coming in. But this one is Florida, USS Florida submarine, SSBN 728. Nice picture of the submarine. Just think there's guys in there, and they're under the water for days and months. I don't know if I could do that. I know I couldn't do that. But that's sold for $4.55. This is the Library of Columbia University. This was a weird number. If you ever get it, I do it by SKU numbers. This one kind of drew a blank. It's just 20,000. And I'm sitting there, I'm trying to find it. I just get a mind blank when I see numbers like that. I don't know why. It stopped me in my tracks. Did I do that one wrong? But this is the chapel. It's earlier on divided back on there. So I listed that probably 1.5 years ago, 2 years ago. Next one is the Library, Columbia University. White border card. Unposted, $4.55. And the last what sold. And then we'll get into the poll. New Hampton. I got a ton of these cards. I think I got multiple quantities of these. New Hampton, Newfound Lake. It's all about the subject. $4.55. Just a view card. A lot of people would not list cards like that. And I like to have a mixture of everything, so I know what's sold and stuff on there. The results of the what's sold, I have a little list here. I sold 12 on eBay for $60, 3 on Etsy for $15, 0 on HIP. HIP has been really slow in the last 30 days. But then it'll jump back up. I still made money, and there's no effort there, but you know, it's kind of like Bonanza anymore. If I had to put HIP and Bonanza together, that's what I would say. But a total for that day is $75, and I have some other ones that sold too, but they just haven't paid yet, and they're still shopping. I noticed a guy just put another one in his stack. So I'll probably get a $100 day. But it's up and down right now with everything going on in the country and stuff like that. So just do your average. Don't chase that hamster wheel. And when you do have some good days, put that money aside for the low days, and pretty soon it'll average out. It'll be okay. So every Saturday, about 8 or 9 a.m. Central Time, I send out a poll. And that's in the community tab on the channel that I'll ask a question, or viewers have asked me to ask a question. And I have them scheduled out for a while, so they just kind of go. I check them to make sure what's going on in the next 3 weeks so that the wording's right and stuff. I might screw up once in a while. But this one was, how many postcard listings do you have? And I put some ranges out there. So 1 to 500 was 39%. That's higher than I thought. It really was. 500 to 1,000 was only 13%. But then you jump up to the second highest category, 1,000 to 5,000. That made me feel a little bit better. But the one that I thought would be more is the 5,000 to 10,000 was only 7%. Because when I hit about 6,000 postcards listed, I felt comfortable because the cash flow was coming in. Things were moving. I was selling more cards than I ever did before when I hit about 6,000 postcards. And there's only 7% of the people there. Is that a sweet spot just for me? Or do other people see the sweet spot between 1 and 5,000 cards? Let me know. But 6,000 cards was really where it was like, okay, I got this. And back then when I did it, we were paying $300 a month for an anchor store, not the $60, $70 a month we do now for 50,000 listings in eBay. We had the first $300 went to eBay to pay for a store every month. You had to have something to carry, and my toy store carried postcards until I got it up to the point, and then 6,000 it really jumped. So that's only 7%. That was, and I really thought more people were in the 5 to 10,000 range. So that's why data is so important to make your decision. And then the 10,000 plus, those, I just hit 30,000 postcards on eBay. I'm a little over 4,000 on Etsy, so 34,000 postcards. I don't really consider myself a big seller. I do more quantity on the lower end of cards. There's people, always someone bigger out there, but I'd say I'm not at the bottom. Probably with the naval ships, I probably cornered the market a little bit with all of them I got, but that can change. So 10,000 plus, 16%. Your low one's 39% and your top is 16, and then people in the middle 1 to 5,000. Did any of that surprise you? Comment below so we can get a conversation going and see what people think on there. I did some numbers. It spurred a conversation that I have a lot with people. I get a lot of questions about this in emails and stuff. But one of the biggest things about postcards and reselling is sell-through rate. It's very difficult, not real difficult, but it's hard to really say collectibles have a sell-through rate like clothing. This shirt brand, you look on there, there's 200 sold and there's 50 listed. You can kind of commodities, stuff like that. But with collectibles, it's that one person that wants the card, that collector and stuff like that. So sometimes these can be gray areas. But people say, what is sell-through rate? So basically, I took and I modified the naming of a sell-through rate formula, and I put postcards in there. It's basically the number of postcards sold divided by the number of postcards listed, then times 100 will give you a percent. That's all that times 100 does. So for example, if you sold 200 postcards, you got 10,000 listed, and times by 100, that's a 2% sell-through rate. So that's an example of how I calculate sell-through rate. Now, with this numbers I'm going to give you, there's a lot of variables. This is just a baseline. This is the line that you draw, and you can change the numbers all you want. I just had to start somewhere. With data, you have to come up with a base. Okay, this is our control. This is where we're going to start. With this, there's so many variables. Is it a new listing? Is eBay promoting it more? Are you promoting your listings at the highest or lowest or not doing it at all? Are they very good cards? RPPC cards? Are they Halloween cards? What time is it? Summer? Is it slowing down? What price did you put them on? Are you the lowest seller, mid seller, highest? Sales, are you running 30-40% sales or running sales? What is your following? How many people follow you on eBay? Are you an established seller? Have you been doing this for years and established yourself compared to new people? How are your titles? Are you coming up in search? Your photos, are they clear? Your shipping, are you shipping in 1-2 days? Returns, is that figured in? How are you dealing with them? Supplies and expenses. Are you overloading your envelopes with stuff that really don't need to be there to save 10 cents a card on there? Your time per card. Are you spending way too much time researching average cards instead of just putting them and taking the average across the way? So this is just a baseline chart, and everyone's going to be different. I had to start somewhere. I started with a 2% sell-through rate. Now here's the chart, and I'll let it sink in for a minute, but it's going to get real. On the first column is postcards listed. And if you remember the formula I had, I'll put it back down here. Number of cards sold divided by number of cards listed. So if you had 100 postcards listed and your sell-through rate was 2%, that means you sold 2 cards for a month. Now if you sold those cards for $5 each, I just put that number out there. Some people are higher, some people are lower. I just threw $5 to make it round easy. That means you made $10. The next column is a profit. I just put 40%. I mean, there's some cards I go a lot higher, and there's some cards I go a lot lower. What is your average percent? It varies. How many cards you sell? Is it 1 card to a buyer, or do you sell 10 cards? You make more money. Is it on HIP? Is it on Etsy? There's so many variables. So I just said 40%. You're going to make $4 that month on those 2 cards. Now if you times that $4 by 12, so if you do the same thing for 12 months, the last column is what you're going to make profit for the year. Now remember, you got to pay taxes on time. Yeah, I know that. But these are just basic numbers to start with. So let's go through that again. The first line is I have 100 cards listed. I have a 2% sell-through rate. I sold 2 cards. I made $10 gross sales. I made, after paying all the fees and everything else, I made $4 profit, 40%. And if I do that every month for 12 months, I put in my pocket $48. Now just let's look down the chart here. If you had 500 cards listed, you're gonna sell 10 cards a month and put $240 in your pocket. 1,000, 20 cards per month, $480 in your pocket. Now let's jump down to 10,000 cards or 5,000 cards. That's kind of the sweet spot around in that area. At a 2% sell-through rate, you're going to sell 100 cards. With a gross sales of 500, you're going to make $200 a month, and you're going to put $2,400 in your pocket. 10,000, you're going to put $4,800. 20,000, you're going to put $9,600. 30,000 listings. At 2% sell-through rate, you're going to sell 600 postcards a month, average, and you're going to make $3,000 a month, $1,200 in your pocket, and you're going to make $14,400 a year. That's a baseline numbers if these numbers all fell and everything was the same for everybody. This is just a guideline. This is my guideline that I use in my head to know where do I want to be at. Now just think, instead of $5 a card you sold them for, you made it $6 or $7. A lot of numbers change. It's a balancing act. So if I raise my price up to $8 because I want to put more money in my pocket, will my sell-through rate go down because now I'm too high priced and I'm not selling as much? But then also I'm not working as hard, but I'm making the same amount of money. You see the balancing act that a seller has to go through, and you do it every day. And you might not know you did it like that, but in your head you're doing it on there. But this was just a chart that I just threw together at a 2% sell-through rate, just as the thing to let people know. A lot of people say, I got 100 postcards up and I'm not selling them. Well, sell-through rate is 2%. Unless you got very special cards or you found that one special buyer. This is a guideline on there. And it's real. This is data that I calculated and put together. Now mine, I got 30,000 at the bottom there. Just to tell you and to be transparent, I'm above what it says there on there because I sell some cards higher than $5 on there. But also remember, I sell at the flea market and I sell toys to offset those slow times. I don't have as 3,000 action figure listings anymore. I think I got 180 listings with 600 items. And then the flea market, they have cash sales out there. I bring in some money for that. I have different things. So if the postcards tank tomorrow, which I don't think they will, I have things to fall back. I could ramp up the toys, ramp up the flea market. If flea market fails, I got the toys. So I'm kind of diversified. But let me know what you think. If you're falling in these numbers, or we need to change some numbers on there. But this is a baseline that I wanted to put together just to show people quantity rules. Unless you're dealing with RPPCs, Halloween cards, then you might have 100 cards up there and you're blowing these numbers away. But your sales take longer to get, and a lot more researching. Some people love to do that, more of the quantity. But that's the poll, and here's some numbers. I hope it helps. Probably confuse people more than anything. Now, since I got all the what solds done and all that other numbers, the math done, let's get into some fun stuff. Comment. First one is from Christina. I have one of the canned Sunshine Florida postcards. So those souvenir cans, these right here, this can right here. I honestly never knew it was a postcard until I saw it in your video. And she's got the $20 one. This is like a $10 one. The San Francisco Fog. This is the more expensive one. She never knew it was a postcard until she looked at it. So she was the first one to report in the video to me that she has one of these. Congratulations, you have a $20 can. Let me know if there's any sunshine in it. I haven't opened mine. Thanks, Christina. Next one is Christine. I have a question not related to this video. Is a different cancel mark worth mentioning? I have some that are postmarked with support the Red Cross and muscular dystrophy. Cancels and stuff on the back, to me, kind of get into the stamp world a little bit, which I don't dabble in at all. But I do look at, when I see some cancels, I will take a look at them. I'm not as focused on them as much. This book right here, Postmarks on Postcards Illustrated by Richard Halbach, right there. I have a link in my description for that book. It can be a little pricey, but it actually goes through all the different cancellations if people want to go down that route. You got your RPO, DPO, different things like that. The naval ships will have different cancellations on there of the ship. Some of those I would probably spell out sometimes. I don't normally, because I'm not really looking for that. I'm not looking for the stamp on the back and stuff like that. But Red Cross and muscular dystrophy, I would say that's a charity stamp, and it was probably pretty common. I probably wouldn't bother with that one. But that, if you want to get that book and look out there, there's a whole niche about that. And some people can get really crazy about these cancellations. So make sure you got good pictures and zoom in on those if there's something special. Thanks for your question. I wish I knew more about them. I'm getting into them a little bit more, but it just gets too close to that deep hole of stamps I don't want to get into. All right, the next one's from Striker20. He found a copper window card last week. If you don't know what copper windows are, postcards, go check out the video. We have almost 100 videos, I think over 93, 95 videos now in the channel. And one of them is how to learn about copper covered postcards, or copper window postcards. They actually look like copper on the windows and they glisten. He actually found one. I've never, hardly ever find those in the wild. Unfortunately, one of the big guys has theirs priced way too low, so I'll wait to list it. So he's playing the horses. He's playing the market on there, on that. But that, someone found a Florida can, and someone found a copper window postcard. All in one comment section. Thanks, Riker. Next one is Flip It For Real. Still working my way through all the videos. I'm not sure if you eventually mention this. Are you a premium level for this store? If I'm understanding right, a premium store allows 10,000 free listings per month and an additional 50,000 under collectibles, which I assume postcards are included. Thanks again for all you are providing on this channel. Well, thanks. Flipped for real. Yes, I have a premium store. My toy store is also a premium store. I've had it for years. I like the features with the premium store. Even though I only have 180, not 190 listings in the toy store now, I can ramp it up, but I like the features of the premium store, and it does pay for itself. When I first started putting postcards up, I had an anchor store for years. $300 or so a month for the anchor store. Then they made that change during, if you sign up for the payments they had, and then they would cut you down to $60 a month or so with 50,000 listings. I was already maxing out the anchor store at 10,000, so I was kind of just slowly listing. I was going to keep it at 10,000 because you start paying 10-25 cents or whatever it was for a listing, it adds up. It was probably cheaper to open another anchor store. It was perfect timing. My contract was coming up, my subscription, and we just rolled it right over to that, and I've been paying $60 a month instead of $300. Right there, the savings was just huge on there. So it is a premium store. So you just kind of got to work your way up. Now, when you just started selling postcards, I had to constantly get eBay to increase my listing, and finally, I don't know, I got billion or whatever. It's ungodly number, even the quantity now. I'll never reach it. But yes. And collectibles postcards is included under that. That was a game changer for everything. Prices changed. I did lower my prices on some things on the postcards because I'm not paying as much, and I passed that on. Some of it to the buyer, and the rest was, hey, I got a little bit extra to buy more postcards. But as we talked about these postcards, these large letter things, those are linen postcards. Really want to know how to identify linen postcards? Check this video out here. And are they fake? That's what a lot of people think. They're not. People are coming around to them because they are part of postcard history. But linen postcard video, check it out. Thanks for watching. Good luck. And I'll catch you on the next one.